Hi, my name is Rachel. I am a pastor and worship leader for Banner of Love Ministries. As a worship leader, how do you select a key that is comfortable for you to sing? There's a temptation to just pick whatever key is on the album. It might not suit your voice. It might not fit for you. A lot of worship leaders have a lot of practice. They know their range very well, and so they're able to do a few more vocal techniques. They're able to do octave jumps and things like that. And all that can be really intimidating at first. There's certain keys that songs are in that are really confusing, and it's very hard when you're kind of new at this to select a key that you can sing it in, because you can't maybe match it on the album. I want to show you a simple technique. If you can find a piano, we're going to go through and find out what your range is, and then try to go and pick out keys based on that. I think it's very important for singers to be selecting their songs in keys that suits the musician. Other musicians can learn different scales, they can learn different things, but your range is limited. So the keys should always be selected based on the vocalist's ability, not any other instrumentation or preferences. A skilled guitarist, even though there are certain keys that will be better for a guitarist, but again, with use of a capo or different skills and tricks, they should be able to adjust based on a vocalist's need. I want to teach you today how to use a piano to visualize your vocal range and then select keys based on that. We're going to just look at the key of C, okay? So this note here is called middle C. When you set in front of the piano, it's the one straight in front of you. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, okay? So this is C to C. That's one octave, and C to C here is one octave. So here to here, that's one. Middle C to here, that's two. This C to this C, that's three octaves, okay? I'm going to be looking within this octave range. Personally, me as a singer, this is about what my range is without warming up, without a lot of stretching. There are tips and tricks to stretch your range and make it larger than it is. Most people, when they first start singing, their range is about here, within one octave, kind of give or take, within here around middle C. All right, and I hope to make another video about how to exercise and how to stretch your vocal range. But for now, let's just examine what kind of range you have and how to work with that. What's best for you? Maybe start around C and see if you can match that note. E, E, I can't really, without a lot of warming up, I kind of drop out here. That's kind of as low as I can go. I am a soprano, I sing in the higher range, but I can access some of these, and with stretches and exercise, just like any sort of physical ability, you can expand that ability, but you're still going to be within a certain range. So I've established just here. Let's working one octave at a time from middle C down. See how I lose clarity in my pitch around here. So you never really want to sing at the edge of your range, but we'll discuss that. So we've established I kind of have some room in here, but I'm fuzzing out around here. I'm losing clarity. So you don't really want to be singing a song that's going to be putting you in these notes, okay? So visually, we have this one octave in here. Let's estimate and say that's one there, all right? And so let's go above middle C now. So that's C to C, that's an octave there. So one octave in the lower range, one octave in the higher range. All right, now let's go a little higher from here, and I'm going to open up my vowel sound. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm only going to go this high, okay? For a vocal, there's other forms of singing where you can and will need to go higher than that. My background was opera, and you use a lot of notes above here. But for the purpose of worship, you're never really going to need to go above that. You're probably going to be showing off, and I wouldn't encourage that in keeping a worship heart, all right? So again, that's kind of like without straining, there's three octaves, all right? And that helps you kind of visually distinguish that range. So as you kind of play, I'm showing that that's my range. That's what I'm just demonstrating for the video here. Like I said, start at middle C and work up and down from there and try to figure out what kind of range you're working with. You go home, try this. If you have a piano, I recommend that. That's the best. But even if you don't, just try to kind of, there's maybe an app on your phone or something, GarageBand and different things. They have a visual piano where you can kind of maybe play that out or something like that and try to work your notes out and try to figure out what your range is for the demonstration here. Why don't you go and do that? And then let's see what kind of notes you're working with to apply the next bit that I'm going to explain. Now that you've discovered kind of what range you're working with, what we need to realize is those are the notes that you're going to be singing within your set, okay? You're going to try to adjust your key based on what that range of notes is so that you're not stretching above or beyond in a song. As I've established, I am not really going to go below here, and I don't really want to be singing the majority of my song up here. These notes on each end, I would like to call them seasonings, all right? They're like special spices and things like that. So if you're cooking food, spices are a nice additive to your meal. But if the spices are the main bit, it's going to be really overpowering and overwhelming and off-putting. All right? These little bits are seasonings. So in a song, you could flavor the song with an occasional note from the extremity of each end of your vocal range. But like cooking a meal, your main bit is going to be towards the inner stable bits, because this and this can tend to change without a lot of vocal training. Those notes can sound strained, they can be pitchy, they can be difficult. So again, you can maybe occasionally hit one of those notes as an accent or something to add effect to a song. But the main bulk of the melody of the song should be in the more middle part of your range, okay? So let's look at that. Here I have my middle notes, and I want to show you the notes that I would work with for the purpose of selecting a song. So you've established kind of where your range is lying. Mine is kind of this range. Yours might be more here. That's more, especially for like a female vocal, like an alto, you'd probably be in here, where mine's up, shifted up that little bit. Okay, so the majority of my songs, I'm going to want the melody to lie within these notes. Most of the songs that I play personally are in the key of G. G is a very easy key for male singers to sing along with. And then for women with a higher range, they can sing in G, the octave higher. But G is also good for altos in the sense that other ladies in the congregation who have a lower voice, they're going to be able to sing G in the octave lower. And I'll try to demonstrate that as well. Oh, Christ be magnified, let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me. So I can reach some of those notes. So let's look at that. Christ be magnified in me. Oh, Christ be magnified from the altar of my life. Christ be magnified. That's a bit lower than I would like, but as a soprano, I can also sing the octave higher. So that's a nice thing about stretching your range, is you can get an octave jump in songs. Here's an example of an octave jump. Christ be magnified in me. Oh, Christ be magnified. Let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me. And then the octave. Oh, Christ be magnified. Let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me. Oh, there's the lower one. Oh, oh, Christ be magnified from the altar of my life. Christ be magnified in me. To be able to do that, you have to put it in a key where you can reach both of those octaves. If you have it where it's higher or lower, it's not going to work that way. So, so because I can do in the key of G, I can access these notes, but I can also access these notes. All right, so that's the lower range, that's the higher range, and that's a G chord. So if you take your key and you put it kind of as your main note, that's a G chord, right? Or this is a G chord, right? If I can sing all the notes around that, then I'm going to be okay to sing that, all right? So that's an octave jump, is a key where you can kind of access both of those, the lower and the higher range. So that's why I'm saying G is a nice key for that, because men can sing it, women can sing it, women with a high voice can sing it, women with a low voice can sing it. That's a whole nother discussion, but in picking keys, first start off finding keys that are comfortable for you to sing. Then I'd say your next step is working on expanding your range. And then eventually, as you become more comfortable in your range and selecting keys, I'd find it to be a good goal for worship leaders not to just pick weird keys, but try to find keys. It might not be perfect for you, but try to learn to stretch your voice into a key that's comfortable for more people. So that's why I usually use the key of G. So let's look at an example of another song. This is my daughter, her tablet, and she has her own keys selected for her vocal range. And let's look at this, for example. This is a song picked out in a key that's good for her. It's in the key of C, right? And let's look at the melody here. How lovely is your dwelling place. How lovely is your dwelling place. Okay, so see that? So I can sing those. But as we discussed before, this is kind of the edge. These would be seasonings. But I don't really want the bulk of the song to be in this range because it's a bit low for me. So as it's getting to the end of my range, it's going to start getting pitchy. So let's look at that. How lovely is your dwelling place. I could do a song in this key. It wouldn't bother me. But if I did all my songs for an entire set, so let's say I do 5 to 8 songs in that key the whole time, I'm probably going to lose my voice. I'm probably going to get hoarse because I'm pushing myself to the bottom of my register to do different kind of vocalizations that I might not want to do for a whole long time. So like I said, these should be seasonings. They shouldn't, you shouldn't have your whole song pushing your vocal range the entire time. This song does go higher. I just want to worship. I want to pour out my heart. See that? For you are worthy. So it does go higher, but so you look at your verses. Verses and choruses typically have kind of a different range, and I find most songs kind of, they have the middle range kind of bit is in the chorus, but you get kind of more extremes in the verse. So you should sing through the song and find the lowest point and the highest point of the song, whether that's in the verse, the bridge, or whatever it is. Different songs are going to have different high points and low points. So like I said, those, if it's an occasional high or low note, that's fine to do that key. But if you can hit those notes. But if the majority of the chorus is going to be at your lowest or your highest end, it's probably not the best key. So this key, although I can do it, I would like to change it because it's a little too low for me. So that's the key of C. How lovely is. But so let's look at raising it. So the majority of the song is kind of in here. I want to try to move it up into here. Let's see what happens when I turn it into G. Your presence is my only hope. I just want to love you. I want to sit at your feet and adore you right here. So see, that's kind of my low note there, as opposed to being down here. So I kind of pushed it up half an octave, and it helped me do that. So it was in the key of C, right? How lovely is your dwelling place. And I put it up here. Lovely is your dwelling place, right? So I pushed it up that much to give myself kind of half an octave range above where it was before. So again, this is why piano is very helpful for visualizing your key, because sometimes it just feels like you're grabbing notes out of your head as a singer. So it helps to visually say, where is that note and how much am I going to have to move it up or down to make that note work? And so you select your key based on that. That's it for this specific video. Most of the advice I'm giving here is gravitated towards female singers, but all these techniques that I showed you today will work for male singers. Just realize you're going to be singing in a lower range, probably below the middle C area. I hope the concept here, just of visualizing what your range is and trying to select keys where the melody is within that. As you piece it together, you're going to get more comfortable with this as you go along. And again, you might have to change that key for different songs. Different melodies are going to fall in a different range. But in general, I hope this technique will help you start to find a pattern of the majority of your songs could fit into a certain key. It might just help you get some direction for approaching new songs and things where, again, like you can't sing it the way the album does it. So you can pick your own key and instruct your team what to play. That's going to help you be able to sing longer and more comfortably and not feel frustrated. All right, so that's it for now. Thanks. God bless.